I've overseen over $900 million in real estate sales in the last 9 years, personally selling over $350 million. And nobody teaches agents the part that matters the most, how to keep any of it. A commission is income, and income stops the second you stop working. So today I'm gonna walk you through how the agents who really get ahead turn what they earn into something that keeps paying them long after the deal closes. This is education rather than a pitch, so let's get into it. Number one, they understand the difference between income and wealth. Now, you gotta start here because most agents never make the distinction and it costs them their entire career. Income is money that shows up because you did something. You close a deal, you get a check. That check is real and it feels like success, but it's tied directly to your effort. Stop working next month and it goes to zero. The money that changes your life is different. It keeps arriving after the work is done. A property that pays you rent every month, a share of a business that pays out whether you worked that week or not, a stream that shows up whether you closed anything or not. That's the whole distinction. Does this thing keep paying me when I stop? So this has nothing to do with collecting stuff because a nicer car sitting in your driveway isn't paying you anything. The things worth owning are the ones that produce because those are what let you eventually stop trading your hours for dollars. And this is the trap for people like us. Real estate agents are the closest people in the world to wealth building assets, and most of them never own one. They spend 20 years helping other people buy the thing that makes those people rich, and they never buy it themselves. Every single agent I know who ended up truly secure, financially free, started putting their commissions into things that pay them back. The ones who didn't are still chasing the next closing at 60 years old. Number two, pay yourself first before the lifestyle grows. Now, this is where most of the money disappears, and it happens so gradually that nobody really notices. Watch what happens to almost every single agent who has a good year. The income goes up, and the lifestyle then goes up right behind it. A bigger car, a bigger house, nicer clothes, better everything, and it feels earned because it was. But now your expenses, your overhead, match that income. You need to make the same number every single year just to stand still. You didn't get any wealthier, you just got more expensive. So do this instead. When a commission hits, take a percentage off the top before you touch any of it. 10%, 20%, whatever you can live with. Make it feel a little stretchy. Move it the same day into a brokerage account, an index fund, a savings account not tied to your personal expense account, a down payment fund for a rental, somewhere you're not gonna raid that account at Christmas time. The key is doing it first. Treat it like a payment. Mike and I started doing this in 2018 and we started small. $1,000 a check off the top, $2,000 a check off the top. We built all the way up to once consistency came, future us was getting $20,000 a month off the top for years. Some months made us feel completely broke, stressful. That is the point. It forced us to live within our means. Every agent I know who tries to save what's left at the end of the month saves nothing because there's never anything left at the end of the month. There's always a repair, a slow week, a trip coming up. It has to come off the top or it doesn't happen. It's boring, it's uncomfortable, which is why almost nobody does it. But do this for 3 or 4 or 8 years while everyone around you upgrades their car, upgrades their life, upgrades their home, makes their life more expensive instead of putting that money away for future them, and you'll be somewhere completely different than they are. Number 3, build income that doesn't depend on you closing a deal. Almost no agent thinks about this until much later than they should. Every dollar you make right now requires you to personally do something. A deal, a client, a closing. If you get sick, if you take a real vacation, if the market seizes up, that income stops. Your whole financial life is downstream of your own continued effort. That's a really fragile place to build from. And you're closer to fixing this than almost anyone because you already know your market better than most people who pay a fortune to learn it. You see what a property is worth, what it rents for, what it costs to fix. Most agents spend 20 years handing that knowledge to other people, their clients, investors, and they never actually use it for themselves. So start putting your commissions into things that pay you back. Property you own that pays rent every month. Referrals you send to agents in other markets, which pay you without even touching the transaction. Revenue share, where you build an organization with other agents with vested interest in their business's success and earn from production that isn't yours. Maybe even a JV mortgage company where you're paid portions of the profit, a stake in a title company that pays on others' deals. Any of these can start really small alongside the business you already have. None of it replaces your commissions overnight, and it's not supposed to. Every stream you add just makes you a little less dependent on the next closing. And then there's a point where those diversified streams cover your recurring expenses whether or not you sell anything that month. Because remember, you're now living within your means. That is when the business stops owning you. So before I get into the last one, this is exactly the kind of thing that we work on inside the Warrior Agent and in our school community. If you're a woman who's tired of the hustle, wants to build a business with systems and real assets behind it instead of just chasing the next commission, commission, that's who I built this for. It's coaching and it's business education for women who want to sell more and build a real life while they do it. The link is in the description. All right, now number 4, play a long game that most agents won't. This last one is the hardest because everything about this industry pushes against it. Real estate rewards immediacy. Close the deal, get the check, feel great. Do it again. That rhythm is addictive, and why so many agents stay on the treadmill their whole career. They're running a loop that never ends because nothing that they've built keeps working while they rest. And it has nothing to do with being lazy. Building wealth is the opposite because it's boring and it's slow and almost none of it feels good in the moment. It feels like you're busting your ass and you're still broke. But setting money aside or buying some unglamorous rental doesn't give you anything like the hit that closing a deal does. And it's 5 years before any of it looks like anything. So most people quit long before they ever actually see it work. But that's also where your advantage is because you're already in the industry that builds wealth better than almost any other and you already know what to look for. The only thing standing between you and financial freedom is being willing to do the boring stuff consistently while everyone around you chases the next commission. Do that, and one day the work becomes optional, and now you have the time freedom, which is the actual goal. So pick one that you've been putting off and start there this month. And if you're still early in this business and figuring out how to get consistent income in the first place, watch my video on everything I know after overseeing almost $1 billion in real estate. It's every lesson that moved the needle back to back. Go watch that one, and I'll see you over there.